Can you hear me now? Yeah. So here's the gift I got yesterday. I was standing there with my big flag, and there were these two young women standing there with this one, and I'm like, that shows planning. Like, they knew they wanted to be at an openings, and they wanted to have something tangible to hold. So I walked over to them, and I said, where did you get it? And they're like, Amazon. And then before they left, they folded up their flag and brought it over and gave it to me. So that was my gift to us. So, yeah, I'm the embodiment of the joy that comes after everybody dissipates. So, at 10 o'clock in the morning, I was the first one on our corner. Because we know how to do protest small. So if nobody else was going to show up, there I was. I had a flag. I had Judy with a sign that said, by the people, for the people. We could have been it. But there was a ton of people, and they all just started flocking toward us. And so I explained to them, you know, the private property sign, and that we needed to stay out on the edge. And they're like, are you the organizer? And I'm like, no, I'm not the organizer. I'm just showing up. But it was a beautiful, beautiful day. It was a long day. And at 3:02, everybody was packed up and had gone back to their business of the day. But, you know, Rick mentioned that we had several of the inflatables. And so people were like, what's up with the inflatables? And I didn't really know a lot about it. So I wanted to share. So this was from the Associated Press in a North Carolina newspaper. The inflatables started in Portland. And during the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement protests, and then has spread across the country. So like you said, we had the eagle, we had the dinosaur.
We had 2 unicorns.
2 unicorns. So and everybody was so excited when they showed up. We all cheered.
There was a guy in a banana suit.
And there was a guy in a banana suit because yellow was supposed to be the themed color, I think.
Oh.
So it says, where did the trend start and why? So supporters say that the costumes lower tension and draw attention without violence. The tactic started in Portland during the customs enforcement protests and spread across the country. National protest organizers encourage attendees to bring funny signs and wear silly costumes to keep the mood light during an event. They want us to be violent, protester Claudia Schultz, wearing an inflatable pig costume, told the Miami Herald. You can't get less violent than this. This form of protest, while not entirely new, gained traction in recent weeks as the photos of protesters in frog, chicken, and unicorn costumes went viral online. And then there was a video of an ICE agent spraying pepper spray into the Portland protesters' inflatable frog costume airbag. And it sparked outrage and prompted people to put their suits on and join in. Operation Inflation is the most recent organized form of protest against ICE and President Donald Trump's administration. The goal is to deflate the tension and inflate the good vibes, according to the initiative website. And while they're currently only operating for Portland protests, people showed up everywhere on Saturday. So, a couple people have said to me, but there's an alternate frog meme out there that's bad. And so I researched that a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
So you can all be in the know. Because knowledge is power.
Oh, hey, I know about that.
If you're wondering about the alternate frog, it was originally an apolitical character in a guy in Mr. Fury's works. But it was appropriated from 2015 onward as a symbol of the alt-right nationalist movement. The anti-defamation plea included Pepe the Frog as in its hate symbol database in 2016, but said most instances of Pepe were not used in hate-related context. And since then, the guy who created Pepe has expressed his dismay at Pepe being so used as a hate symbol and has sued the organizations who have done so for doing it. So there was another thing that happened yesterday that I thought was the coolest thing, emblematic kind of what we've learned here. So I'm standing out there on that corner, and I met this lovely woman named Jamie, and her sign said, hands off everything, right? So we're standing there, and we're about 300 strong. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning, and she says, we need to be on all the corners. So she took herself off to the opposite corner. And what I'm talking about here is the power of one. Because she really felt strongly that this spirit needed to be carried around all 4 corners of this intersection. But she took it on herself to go over there and stand there. So then I watched her. And it took probably about 20 minutes, and then she had 3 people standing there. Some people coming down out of Stop and Shop that then didn't have to, like, travel the road, right? But at the height of it, she had 23 people standing over there with her, and their signs were, there was no doubt what they were there for. So we did expand, and then one of the, I think the dinosaur went over there, and briefly we had 2 people up there on the top corner, all with Love America signs. So it was a beautiful example of what we've done, which is stand here for 282 weeks and say, love your neighbor, this is a good idea. And I can't tell you, we did, Rick and I did proselytize, I think, a little bit about, if you're liking this, we're here on this corner every afternoon at 2 o'clock. So I was really hoping Jamie would make it today, but I have to say, when I got home, I was holding that flag all day, and when I got home, we were playing Wordle, and I'm suddenly like, my arms feel like overcooked noodles. So I'm going to give everybody a pass for this week and hope they all show up next week with the enthusiasm they have. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was making it joyful. So we had a couple of obviously very evident people on the other side of the No Kings discussion, and one of them had a big flag sticking out of the side of their car that was a MAGA sign. And so we started chanting, "This is what democracy looks like." And we chanted it, and it takes a long time for that light to change so that they can make their left. But we chanted it until they went around the corner. And then a little while later, my husband, who doesn't come to very many of these, came, and there was another naysayer holding a red hat out the window at us. And I was chanting, "This is what democracy looks like." And he decided my slogan was too long. And he said, "Democracy now." And a whole bunch of people joined in, and we chanted "Democracy now." And he told me after I got home that the expression on that person's face, even though he continued to hold his hat out the window, was definitely a defeated expression of there are more of us than there are of them. And I think for me that's the critical thing to realize, the millions of people that stood up yesterday. There are more of us than there are the hateful people in the world. And we all stand together, we can't help but do good.
Woo!